Bonnie Blue has always been known as a sluzzer. So that's normal. That's like Ted Bundy always been known as a serial killer. Women have a lot of potential, but they don't listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. It's like a fisherman. Like, I don't even need the rod. So I just sit there and the fish leap into my fucking lap. So like, you know, Andrew Tate is a top G. I'm a general and then I'm a G. It's thick and it's big. You ain't got nothing on the python, trust. I was like 2 or 3 and he stole my life savings.
Would he steal it from your piggy bank?
I'd probably get Kate Price at some point. She's been my target for a while. I will get her eventually. I would rather eat shit and die than be seen with Keir Starmer. We would have barrel rolled and exploded and died. I'm literally on the cusp, almost breaking the law, but not. It's on the verge. My record is clean. If it wasn't clean, then I'd be charged with something. Right. It's clean. I'm 42. 42 years of life. How you doing? I'm like, I'm in the back of a police van with handcuffs on, so I'm not really that great.
Welcome back to the Criminal Connection podcast, and this episode is proudly brought to you by Betovo. Welcome back to the Criminal Connection podcast. Today we've got a multi-billionaire, not in money, but in views. He's heading towards becoming the first internet trillionaire. I mean, it just sounds mad, but I have to salute this man because he is General G. He is the leader of the Norwich Hood. So please put your hands together for the General.
Thank you so much, but it is basically an honor to be here. You know what I mean? You're honoring me, but I'm honoring you a lot more because I've been watching you for years. You've been killing it at the top. One of the finest British actors there is. So I literally had to come on here and just hang out with you because you're a legend, bro.
Well,
trust.
I love that. Let's,
love.
Love.
Keep it real. No zesty shit, but brotherly love because we're brothers, bruv. Innit? Trust.
So, I've always wondered, right?
Yeah.
What is the G for in general? Is it gigolo or is it something else?
So like, you know, Andrew Tate is a top G. So that's what it means, like a top G. So
Right,
I'm
okay.
a general and then I'm a G.
Right,
So I'm
okay.
a top G.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that. But I didn't know if it actually meant something. But
Yeah,
it's just a G.
it's just after
Right.
the Andrew Tate G.
Right, okay.
So
you're the new Andrew Tate, basically.
well,
Or the new improved Andrew Tate.
I'm the only real general there is in the world, you know. But I was given that rank off the public. I didn't just give it to myself. That's not how you get ranks.
Right.
I entertained the public for so long, and they fell in love with me and said, "You're a general. You're the general of us, all the lads in the country." And I was honoured. And then I've just been a general non-stop ever since.
Right.
2 years, and you know, I love that. You know, that's why I'm still alive, because of them. Because if they weren't there, I wouldn't have a reason to live. So, you know, it helps my mental health as well. Like, bare helps my mental health. You know, if I didn't have this, I don't know where I'd be. Right. So it really is good to work, to entertain the masses, and to improve my mental health. Because I think everyone has a mental health problem, regardless if they admit it or not.
Right.
But when people, strangers, come up to me in the street and they're giving me love and they're shaking and they're like, "Oh my God, I love you so much," that means more to me than anything else in the world. I'm sure you get the same thing. It's just mad, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That strangers will have that reaction to you and you don't know who they are, but they love you that much. That means so much to me. I can't describe how much that means to me.
And today, you've got 2 gloves on.
Yeah.
Are you planning on killing somebody?
I needed to be more criminal-esque,
Right.
you know, and leaving no fingerprints at the scene of the crime, because normally I wear 1 glove and everyone knows this. But because I'm
Is that
meeting,
'cause you're
I'm meeting Tony Tucker, I need to wear 2 gloves in honor of Tony Tucker, bruv. Do you know what I mean?
So do you wear the 1 glove? Is that like your trigger finger?
That was just something I added onto general, like the tank.
Right.
I did that onto general, the Nike Fit. I changed it from Nike trainers to smart shoes. So I'm evolving general as we go along, but I always keep it fresh. I used to wear like a leather black jacket, and then I changed it to a beige, you know, because people copy me so much. I've got to change it, you see. Otherwise, everyone's like,
So it must be so annoying that you've become like this fashion icon.
Trendsetter.
Must be
People
really
copy
annoying.
everything I do, and it's like, right, I've got to change it up now because everyone's doing what I'm doing.
So like you do your video on TikTok, and then you go on the next day and you're like, fuck's sake, they're copying me now. So you always have to, I suppose you've always got to be on your toes, ain't you, when you're like a sort of fashion icon, trendsetter.
Well, it's basically because I get so many views, all the people below me are literally copying me to try and get views, but all they're getting is hate. Because you can't really copy me and try and get love or respect. Everyone will completely attack that person.
Right.
Because no one can copy me. Like, they will get so much hate for that.
Right.
And, you know, there's literally only one Terry Stone, only one General G. So, yeah, that's the way it is.
Do you have that? Do you actually say, "Oh, how the General G" or not?
No. I essentially.
Do they salute you online or?
No.
Right.
That, you know, they will literally give me love wherever I go.
Right.
And the views and likes and all the views I get on socials reflect that. You're talking, what is it, 1 million views per day on average. Now, if you fathom, not many people can, you know, how many people 1 million people is, no one can. Because that's 10 of the biggest stadiums in the world full up. That's a lot. That's literally a country. So I've got a country watching me daily. If I'm working, of course.
And are you? Is it mainly UK based or is it worldwide? You're following.
Well, I checked my views for last year on one account, and it was 157 million. Now, the UK population is 67 million.
Yeah.
So I got like twice the population of the UK and then some.
Right.
So it is Europe, you know, it's a couple of countries worth, and that's just on one account, views on one account. If you add up all the views on the internet of me, you're talking multiple countries around the world. So, you know, that I don't tend to think about it, because if I think about it, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like a bit mad. I'm just being me, trying to entertain the masses. And I think you have to have a talent and a skill set to be good at what you do. You know, if you're not talented, you won't get anything. The public are not mugs. You cannot mug off the public.
Right.
They're not mugs. They see straight through the bullshit. They literally do. If you're lying to them, they'll know. That's why if I tell them the truth, they'll be like, oh yeah, trust, whatever. They'll believe it. So, you know, if someone tries to set me up or a scandal, I will just post one video, address it, say what happened, done. That's it.
So if we actually just like, obviously we've talked a bit about you as General G, the trendsetter, the fashion icon, the fashionista. If we actually rewind it right back to like when you was younger and you was growing up in Norwich, I mean, what was it like when you was growing up? I mean, was you brought up in the hood?
I was brought up in rough areas where I had to fight a lot. Like, people just fought all the time. And regardless of if you win or lose, if you put your all into it and just fought, regardless, you got respect.
Right.
And you build on that respect, you know, through the years.
Right.
And you keep building. And obviously the respect I have now is unfathomable, but it's good to see like the youth of today, you know, looking up to me. So when I say to them, don't use violence to solve a situation, they'll listen to me, you know, because most people, you know, may use violence to solve a situation, but the best thing to do in most situations is to walk away.
Right.
If they're physically attacking you, that's a different story, of course. But if they're not physically attacking you and they're just mouthing off, like most people do, of course, you know, people have done that to me, walk away. And then they're the joke, aren't they?
Right.
They're just the joke. So it takes a big man to walk away from someone mouthing off. But at the end of the day, they want you to attack them.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people will try and get a reaction out of you. If you don't give them that reaction, then they'll find out issues with themselves. Because a lot of people have issues and they need help, you know, medical help, therapy, whatever. I've worked with a lot of people that need help. I'm not going to work or see or speak to those people again But those people should be sectioned because they're seriously disturbed people.
Right.
And all I did was help them change their lives, earn them, what was it, like 100K a month?
Right.
Just silly amounts of money. Did they give me a penny? No. They didn't give me cool. So
you should have signed them up with a management contract.
It's not that. It's not.
Or was
that.
it on trust?
I give 1,000,000% to someone, and people may see that as a weakness, but if they betray me in whatever way or try and hurt me, they're not going to get it, and they'll fall back down to where they used to be, which is what 1K views. I'm still at 1 million, so that's the difference. I will look after people that help me. Right. You give love, you get love. You give hate, you get hate. I have a big responsibility to entertain millions. I had to disown and get rid of a lot of toxic people in my life.
I mean, when you was growing up in Norwich and you, like you said, you was having these fights and stuff, what is the worst sort of violence you've seen, or what's the worst thing someone's done to you as a kid?
Oh, man, that's mad. I think a gang was trying to beat me up, but me and an adult, because I was young at the time, fought them back, and then the gang ran away. So that was a highlight. That was good.
Right.
But in middle school and high school, I was just constant violence because it's lawless, isn't it? It's like cowboy era. It's like you'll never get in trouble with the police because they don't care. It's when you reach 18 and above, the police get involved, and it's like, I just punch that guy in the face because he's mouthing off to me. And it's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? As soon as I reached 18. So I was like, okay, so I can't just go around beating people up anymore.
Right.
So that's a weird learning curve. Do you know what I mean? Because the police start questioning me about, why did you beat the person up? I was like, you never asked me before. Why are you asking me now? And it's not even like I broke anything. It was like I just had a scuffle, like a lad scuffle, which is nothing. So I think everyone in their lives, if you ask anyone, has had a scuffle, had a fight, win or lose, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, it's like a boxing match. You have respect for each other at the end of it.
Have you thought about having doing any of that sort of misfits boxing?
I did that with Modine.
Right, okay. How did you get on?
And I wasn't in any fit shape to step in the ring. The fight was rigged because he kept smashing the back of my head.
Right.
HS was a referee. He's not a referee.
Right.
So it was rigged. But if the real referee was in there, Modine would have got disqualified. But we had 500,000 viewers on the live. So that broke world records. Wow. So obviously Misfits.
I was all paying a tenner.
I didn't get paid for that either. Misfits want to obviously sign me. They want me to fight, but I'll be real. My health, I struggle to move. If I bend to pick something up, I'm out of breath. I'm like spitting. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's I get stomach pains. I get chest pains.
Do you think it's the gin and Red Bull diet you're on?
I mean, I use that. That's my new cocktail I created.
When you said that to me, I did laugh because I've never heard anybody drinking gin and Red Bull.
That's what I mean.
So.
I'm just a one of a kind, but I needed it because I don't want to be drowsy. So the Red Bull is a kick. I think if I start advertising that, people will start.
I reckon you'll have a gin
I'll have a double vodka and Red Bull, and they'll be like, "Oh, General G, yeah." So that if I keep advertising that, everyone's going to be like, "I'll have a General G," and everyone will know what it is. Yeah, but it's good. It's good. It's good.
And when you was at school, I mean, did you ever have any scrapes with any teachers or any trouble?
I beat up a teacher one time, but that was whatever. That was just out of respect for the school and the pupils because she was just horrible to everyone. So, and then they carried me around the school and celebrated me. But I think
so. When you was, how old was you then?
I was like 10. I was like 12, maybe.
So I suppose at that age you was becoming the general because did they carry you around in a little throne and you was at school?
I mean, I would say as I was born, I was always general, but. I had to find General, because he was there. I just couldn't find him until TikTok came along. So, it's like most actors, if their parents weren't famous A-list actors, it takes them most of their lives to find out, oh, I'm an actor. I love acting. Do you know what I mean?
Did you do any acting when you was at school?
Yeah. I should have done it as a GCSE and gone into, done it at A-levels and gone into drama school because I am a very talented actor.
Right.
And if you see a lot of my socials and the views it's getting, you know, that's getting more views than one video is getting more views than a lot of movies and TV series. So, you know, and so, I would say a lot of it is acting. You have to be a talented actor to actually entertain people. If you're not talented as an actor or whatever, then people are just going to scroll because most people will just scroll after 1 second. Right. So to keep them glued, you have to be like bang in their face. Do you know what I mean? And I've learned it's to capture that moment of magic, something you can't predict or plan. And when you get that magic, which for me is just normal, then you'll know about it. And some of the best scenes in movie history have been spontaneous. Right. They haven't been planned. So it does work. The technique works, and I've been doing that for years. So
maybe you should change your name to General the Magic G.
Yeah, that would be safe, to be fair. But I don't know. It's like, obviously, I'm a general, so I give orders and take them. So if a director says, "Oh, do that, do this," I'll be like, "Mate, I'm a general. Don't can talk to me like that." So I don't know if a director would actually get on with me. I don't think that would work. I'd be like, "Oh, I'll just say whatever to them in the scene," and then I would just say whatever to general. So that could work.
But but what you're saying though, as an idea, I actually think you should maybe do some sort of General G TV series because you could actually just do it all off the cuff, and if you're getting that amount of views, that's more than fucking people are getting on these shows.
Yeah, I think I haven't actually got into the TV or movie market yet, only because I've just been focused on the socials.
Because when you walked in earlier,
yeah,
I actually thought he looks fucking familiar, right? I know you've never done this, but can you just take your sunglasses off just for 1 second? I mean, you to me, young Danny Dyer, but obviously you got hair and a beard.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, have you had people come up to you and say that before or not?
Not really. I think it's because of the
or
long
Jeff
hair.
Bridges.
Anyone,
Jeff Bridges. Yeah,
anyone
Jeff
with long hair, they're like, "Oh, that's General G," because I'm that known for my long hair.
Right.
It took me 8 years to grow this, by the way.
Fucking hell. So you're not taking it off anytime soon?
No way. There's no amount of money or person that could ever do it. The only thing that would ever get me to cut it would be Andrew Tate. And the Tate brothers actually really like me.
Right.
They find me funny.
Right.
Because I know someone in their circle, and he literally said to them, he said to me that, no, they do really like you. They find you hilarious. So that's really good that they approve of me.
So Andrew, if you're watching this, so if he just rang you up and said, "Yo, General, you know, shave your hair off so you look like Terry," would you go, "Yeah, right"?
Only for Andrew Tate, yeah. I would shave my hair for Andrew Tate to be the G that he approves of, yeah. But only if I'm with him in person on his podcast.
Did he inspire you? Did you sort of look at him and think,
no,
wow.
He did. Because I haven't told anyone this. I was thinking about telling someone. So I'll tell you.
Talk to Terry.
Yeah, because I need to tell someone about it. But I had anorexia.
Right.
So I didn't eat for a long time. And then I went to hospital and they sorted me out, released me. But then it progressed to a high level. So then.
But you haven't got anorexia now, have you?
You always have it. You can't get rid of it. But I don't really use it as a trigger. But then the next step was I was abusing laxatives and I had pancreatitis and I was in hospital for a week. And I was just thinking, right, something needs to change. Because if I don't change, I'm going to die.
Right.
You know, I'll be dead and no one will care. You know, I'll be 6 feet on the ground. What am I going to do? And then I was on YouTube, TikTok, whatever. And I saw Andrew Tate and the Tate brothers and their messages about no one's going to help you but yourself. If you don't make something of yourself, you'll be nothing. No one will care. you need to achieve your dreams, keep at it, even if you keep failing until you succeed. And I just thought about that for like a few weeks, and I was like, okay, cool. And then TikTok came about, and I downloaded the app, and the rest is history. You know, I think it's the determination and the grit. If you don't have that determination and grit, you're literally just gonna disintegrate into nothing. You know,
because they've had a bad time. I mean, they got cancelled, they got arrested.
Yeah. I mean,
and do you think that was basically because
if you become
too powerful?
Yeah, if you become too powerful, just like me, because the same things have happened to me. You know, I'm not going to discuss the case, but if you become too powerful, they come after you. They produce false allegations and they get you arrested, thrown in jail, whatever. And they're exonerated because they were innocent. They're just here to improve everyone's lives and the message of believe in yourself. And I will always stand by them for that. You know, they probably saved my life.
Wow.
I'll be real. They probably did. And they don't even know that. So I'm telling them this, that you guys probably did save my life, and mad love and respect for that. Do you know what I mean?
So that's a Criminal Connection podcast exclusive.
Yeah.
The Tate brothers
saved my life.
General G's life.
And they created General G, essentially. Wow. I mean...
So you're basically the Tate brothers' love child.
I would say they've created a lot of major, powerful people, and I'm essentially an inspiration of them. Right. So they inspired me to better myself and level up and evolve, and I have.
Right.
And, you know, I have essentially... I am humble, but based on the views, which the views don't lie, I have made UK TikTok a lot more entertaining. If I stop working and I'm not on UK TikTok, it gets so boring. Like, there's nothing there. It's always American. It's like American. If I start working again, it's like, oh yeah, General G, wow. Yeah. See what I mean? So I'm essentially carrying UK TikTok. So that's a lot of pressure.
Because I've only been on TikTok properly for probably about 6 months, but my son was the one who highlighted you. So my daughter was the one who said, Dad, you got to get on TikTok. Yeah. But my son was the one, have you seen this guy? He's so funny. And
really? I did actually have a gut feeling and a thinking that the son was the reason why you connected with me. When I saw you followed me, I was like, I've got a living legend following me. I need to fucking, what the fuck?
Well, so his name's Harrison as well.
Oh,
and I know you don't like people called Harrison.
No. I don't have hate for HS. Right. A lot has happened between me and him. Right. But what I would say is we will always work together, regardless of personal beef, whatever. You know, me and him will always work together.
Right.
That is simple facts. So, you know, and I may be working with him again soon.
Wicked.
You know, that it's not confirmed, but it might happen. And what I want him to know is just focus on work. Don't get distracted, because he gets distracted too much. And because he gets distracted, it stops us from working. But if he does the work ethic from Dubai when we first blew up, we can do the same thing today. And I know for a fact that he's got so much potential, man. If he just focuses on my ideas and what I want to do, then yeah, we will get 10 million views vids again. And I think he's just with the wrong crowd, you know.
Right.
So I feel a dad to a lot of the UK, and you know.
So some days you're General G, some days you're Daddy G.
No, I General is like a father figure. You know, no one has a father. He never had a father. HS. His father deserted him when he was very young. You know, my biological thing did the same. So, you know, I do understand that completely. And I would say HS changed my life. I changed his.
Right.
And there has been a lot of bad stuff between us, but I can't just, I'm not like a robot. I can't just switch off caring about him. Right. No, I do still care about him.
Right.
I think he's got a lot of maturing to do and a lot of understanding about, you know, I'm double your age. So when I tell you something, I'm talking straight facts. I'm not bullshitting you. If you lived double your lifetime, then you can understand that what I'm saying is facts. Because a lot of these young people try and talk to me like, oh, you should be doing this. And I would just laugh at them and say, mate, you don't even know you're born yet. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? it's like if someone tries to lecture you, you're like, excuse me, who are you? Shut up. Shush.
With HS, which was the video? I know there was the video with the smashing the car, but did that something happen there where you got blamed for it?
No. There were videos on my social medias where you can see who's driving clearly, and obviously with the crash, technically it wasn't 100% his fault. The car in front blocked the 2 lanes of traffic, so we had nowhere else to go.
Right.
If he went onto the grass, we would have barrel rolled and exploded and died.
Right.
So
we wouldn't have been able to do this podcast then.
Well, if I weren't wearing my seatbelt,
right, good job.
You would have heard about me dying in the news.
Right. So
I'm glad because I wasn't wearing my seatbelt for a lot of the ride.
Where was that?
Just before the crash, I had a gut feeling. Well, I better fucking put on my seatbelt right fucking now, and I put it on, and then we crashed, and I was like, oh shit. But it broke ribs, and it just fucked me up.
Where was that in Dubai? Or was that here?
No, it was in England.
Oh right.
So, I'm not gonna say about blah blah blah, but he essentially, the UK government and police are after him. Right. And that was on the news, national news. Right. Wow. I never gave a statement. I was questioned, obviously, but I never gave a statement. So I don't think I would ever testify against him,
right?
Because that's a line you don't cross.
Because you're not a grass. The general.
I'm not a grass. He has done a lot for me, and I think deep down he does love me. And I do feel that. I think he gets lost sometimes, and he does miss me a lot. So sometimes when me and him are alone, it's just me and him. We have these really heartfelt moments where we just, I love you as a brother. I love you too. And then when other people come in, then he just changes, switches up, and he's again. So I do know he's actually deep down, really deep down. If you get down to the deepest part of him, he is a really kind, good person. Right. But surface level, he's horrible. Everyone sees him as horrible. They hate him. But you go deeper and deeper, he's actually a really lovely guy. Right. So,
and you mentioned earlier about obviously he come from obviously a one-parent family, and you mentioned that you had a similar experience.
Yeah.
I mean, was it hard sort of growing up? I mean, because my mum and dad split up when I was 12, but for you, was it younger or was it sort of?
I was like 2 or 3.
Right, so you
probably stole my life savings, and recently.
But when you was 3, he stole your life savings.
Yeah.
What would he steal it from your piggy bank, or did he like hack into your bank account?
No, but bank account. So he withdrew it from my bank account. My mum told me this. Wow. And then recently I found out something happened to him, and I just don't care. I'm just like, well, it's karma, isn't it? Right. If you f someone over for no reason unprovoked, which he did, and then he's like that much later on in life, he knows I'm general. He knows. Right. He's seen me. You can't not see me.
He must tell.
So he knows I'm general, and he's like, "Oh shit, I really messed up." Because if I was in this life, do you know what I mean? My mum was the reason why I'm general, not him. So it's in spite of him. I never needed that father figure, and maybe that's a good thing, because I became my own father figure. Right. If you see some of the most successful people in history, they didn't have fathers. So, it is quite a paradox, but I'm my own boss. I answer to no one. Someone tries to tell me what to do, I just laugh in their face and say, I'm a general, who are you? So it has to be like that.
How do you laugh?
I laugh like a horse. I laugh like a horse sometimes. And my mum, Mum, this is really weird that you do this, but she's like, don't do that. I'm like, I'm fucking laughing. It's a good thing that I'm laughing. And she hates when I laugh. I'm like, Mum, you can't do that. But she's going through a hard time. She quit her job. I don't know why. And then she's just whatever. So
have you got her on TikTok?
She's not on TikTok. I don't ever want the public to know about her, because I don't want people coming up to her and saying, oh, can I have a photo? That's my mum. Do you know what I mean? My mum's off limits. And it's like saying for your mum, like anyone that goes near your mum. It's like, nah. Like I just, yeah. My mum is like deep down, like untouchable, you know. It's the same with HS. His mum is untouchable. Anyone says shit about HS's mum, he's got every right to knock that fucker out. It's the same with my mum. Do you know what I mean? So I completely understand that. So when I was doing the diss track on HS, they're like, "Oh, put this lyric in about dissing HS's mum." I was like, nah, definitely not. That's crossing our line. So, and he knew that, and he respected me.
So you rap as well?
Oh no, the Trust tune, which is iconic. You know, hop that the Lambo, feeling incredible. Trust me, HS and stuff, whatever.
Trust.
Yeah, but it was sick. That got the last time I checked, it was on 20 million streams on Spotify.
That must have got you a chart position, though.
Well, because of HS,
right?
He it up and broke the rules. We got demoted 11 places. If he didn't act like an idiot, we would have got top 10, possibly number 1. So yeah, it's iconic.
Like the
song is iconic.
I love that. No, but I didn't know. I knew you'd done that song, but I didn't know if you was actually doing rapping as a career.
No, when I do gigs, I rap, and I know all the lyrics. I can rap. I've always been a sick performer.
Do you do it off the cuff?
It's memorised.
Give us a little rap then. Come on. Give us a little Criminal Connection, Terry Stone, and the general rap.
Hold on, I've got to remember it now. What's it called? Oh.
I'll do the beatbox, ready?
It doesn't go like that. It goes like oh Jesus, you put me on the spot now. Because I'm on the podcast. But
no, but I'm just in.
Yeah, it's really good because what happened was when I was with Alexis Reed on the boat, right. It's just everything was turned to solid gold.
Wicked.
And the music video was sick. You know, the UK, because I was in Dubai at the time, so I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So when we were in Dubai, you know, we drove past a gang of girls, and they were screaming at me. I was like, nah. And HS was like, yeah, they're screaming for you. I'm like, shut up. And he's like, no, mate, they fucking are. And I was like, what? And that's the first time I was like, oh, shit. What have I done? And then when I got back to the UK, when I first arrived in my hometown, I could not get home.
Wow.
It took me an hour to get home because I was swarmed that much.
So would you say that song and that whole experience, that's basically transferred you from being just General G to General G, the fanny magnet, where you had just groups of groupies, girls, all just sort of throwing themselves at you?
I would say the problem with groupies is they're stalkers, technically. Right. They are technically stalkers because they're that obsessed with you.
Right.
If you L them off, they'll stalk you.
Right.
Or they'll try and set you up.
Right.
That's dangerous.
Have you had people trying to set you up then?
All the time. But I'm general, so it's like I'm Superman and they're shooting bullets at me just to flex off me.
Right.
I mean, you know,
anyone...
my record is clean, right. And people will be like, "What does that prove?" Well, dickhead, if it wasn't clean, then I'd be charged with something. Right. It's clean. I'm 42 years of life. Do you know what I mean? That's what it fucking proves that I'm not a scumbag and I've never committed a crime. So the police will see that and say, if this guy was a scumbag and whatever they say, he would have had previous fact. And the CPS will obviously realise that, won't they?
Right.
So they like obviously follows the law, you know, and if anything is misunderstood, it's whatever. We're not going to charge him because he's not a scumbag. You know what I mean? It's people, when you're at the top, everyone comes for you. Everyone. You know, I know for a fact that with what's going on right now, this SA shit is going to all the most powerful people in the world. Right now.
Right.
That's a trend, isn't it?
Well,
and I just happened to, you know, get whatever with that trend. So I'm not surprised.
So what? Because obviously, with girls, do they chat you up or do you chat them up? Right, ladies and gents, let's talk about something that we all need after a long day. Relaxation, R&R. And that's where our sponsor, Insignia, comes in. These guys are offering the full works. I'm talking indoor saunas, body dryers. They've got outdoor saunas. Turn your garden into a luxury retreat. They've also got steam showers and steam rooms. And I'm talking about spa-level steam therapy right in your own home. They've also got ice baths for the brave and the bold. And they've got loads more, from aromatherapy to chromotherapy and all the latest wellness tech. Bottom line, if you want luxury, recovery and total relaxation, you only need to know one name, and that's Insignia. The team have given the Criminal Connection podcast crew your very own special code. Head over to insigniashowers.com or click on the link below and use the code Terry200, where you can receive £200 off any sauna. The Podfather's on the Insignia wellness journey, so don't be a mug and join me too. Take care of your body, clear your mind, and make it Insignia.
I mean, they follow me, so I add them back, and then they're in my DMs, and then I only add things back that I want to work with, that I can run up with. Like,
I didn't know if you and you must have some good chat-up lines.
Not really.
You just look at them.
I was in a club, right?
Right.
Just standing there, not doing anything, just existing. And this model comes up to me and literally starts snogging me and getting off of me. And I'm like, yeah, that's general. I just have to exist, and things gravitate towards me because they know who I am, and they just start snogging me. Yeah, I don't even have to do anything.
I mean, that's pretty cool. So
I mean, it's part of my life. It's my job. You know, I work with so many models now.
To snog hot girls.
It's like a fisherman. Like, I don't even need the rod
or the bait.
No, I just sit there and the fish leap into my fucking lap, into my mouth, and I'm like, whatever. You know, I've got that much persuasion, but essentially, it's really good because they know what I can do for them, but also on a personal level, they do try and be with me on a personal level, like in a relationship, and I'm like, I'm not really into that, you know.
Right.
On a personal level.
Do you think you're going to settle down and have kids and get married?
No, because the thing that whatever is just too affected by my work. So I think I can see her again, but she's I don't know. It's difficult, man. It affects me a lot.
Do you think maybe when you're older, do you think maybe you got like an age where you actually will settle down, or do you think you're just always going to be the general?
No, I'll always be a general, even after I die. But I think I don't have a personal life anymore, and that's a sacrifice I've had to make. People don't understand watching me what I've had to say. I've sacrificed everything. I have nothing left.
Right.
You like, and I have no regrets. I'll do everything exactly the same because I did everything perfectly, and I made everyone happy and helped everyone to the goodness of my heart. I've never done anything wrong to anyone. Anyone can speak shit about me, do whatever. I don't give a flying fuck. Do you know what I mean? All my millions of Trust Army soldiers know who I am deep down. They see my heart and my good nature, and that's why they love me. And that's why I'm invincible and I can never be defeated, because they know who I am deep down. Right. And these people, I don't have enemies. These people that have gone against me, they've been destroyed very quickly, and you don't really see them on the net anymore.
Can anybody, anyone who's listening or watching to this podcast, if people want to become a Trust soldier or become part of the Trust Army, is there like a selection process?
Not really. I mean, it's literally just be a good person and be good to others.
Right.
And that's it, you know.
And if you actually did have some issues where somebody was seriously going to hurt you, have you got like some soldiers?
That'll never happen because I'm so loved. That'll never happen. People will mouth off or try and play pranks on me. That's whatever. It's childish, isn't it? You know, I don't stoop to that level. I'm just like, you've got problems, go and seek help. Right. And I walk away. If I started beating people up, that would be damaging because the tabloids would be onto it. They'd be like, General G beats up so-and-so, gets charged for assault. he's not a role model for the young people anymore. Do you know what I mean?
But I just thought, because you grew up in the hood and you
but
I didn't know if you had any sort of soldiers
when you become famous and you become a somebody, you can't just beat up people anymore. When you've got that role model.
So
I know for a fact I've got so many young people that are too young to be on TikTok that look up to me, and I'm very mindful of that. And I want to set an example for them to say, look, I'm a general. I'm always going to look after the Trust Army. Just believe what I say and listen to my advice. And they do. And the parents agree with it. The family agrees with it. And it's amazing, Right. And people can't believe it when they see me. They start laughing because it's not real that I'm actually seeing you in person right now. And it is actually quite funny. I get why they laugh now because it is unbelievable. But if I was in their place and I saw General G, I'd be shocked as well. I'd be shook as well because it's almost like an unbelievable story come true.
Right.
Because the stuff I do, no one else is doing on the net.
Right.
No one else. HS and Ed used to be really funny and drop game. And they don't do that anymore. They're boring.
Right.
I do that as much as I can with different things, and I'm just outrageous to the point where everyone is like, "Oh, I fucking love that guy."
I mean, when I've seen some of your videos, right?
Which ones have you seen?
There's quite a few. But
the pinned ones. Or
no,
not?
the ones when you're just literally with these things, right?
Which ones? Because there's so many.
and for anybody that doesn't know what a ting is, that's what the general refers to as a woman. But I mean, there was every day or every week, it feels like you're with a different girl somewhere.
Well, the issue I have is with these tings, they either try and set me up or they disrespect me off cam. Right. So I cannot work with her again because.
So you've got a good ting list and a bad ting list. So
not really,
right?
Because
you got a ting list.
I will give them the clout. Let's say, well, obviously on average 1 million views in a day. They will have a mental breakdown. They can't handle it. Their friends and family and other nobodies will message them, spam them. They can't handle it.
Right.
So they'll have a mental breakdown. They'll scream. They'll cry. And I'll be going, I'm not a therapist, love. I'm just here to run it up. That's my job. I'm going viral all the time. I gave you a hand, brought you up to the top to my level. You can't handle it. She falls back down.
Right.
I walk away. Next. And then see if she can handle it.
Right.
If she can't handle it, next. It's not anything personal. It's business because at the end of the day, it damages me more if an unstable woman is just spouting lies and shit when she should be on meds and not listening to these nobodies, bringing her back to the nobody level. It's sad to see because these women have a lot of potential, but they don't listen to me.
Right.
I've been at this for years. I know what I'm talking about. And of all the people I've worked with,
right,
I don't really have anyone to work with, but...
You must have a favourite, though, General. There must be one that you've got.
I would say Lana Wolf is my favourite. I think she has been at the top for such a long time,
right,
and she gets asked for photos a lot by her fans. So I do think if it works out well with her, I can progress with her. Because with Lilly Phillips, because I made her a household
somebody
name.
told me that she proposed to you. Is that true?
I proposed to her.
Oh, you proposed to her?
Yeah. And it was a real diamond ring. She refuses to believe. I said, get it tested. But it's a real diamond ring.
I love the fact you proposed to her.
She said
you're
yes.
An old romantic.
It got millions of views on TikTok and Instagram, but it was good. But after me and her fell out, she went off on the deep end and then she 100 nobodies or something. And that was just sad to see.
But that's a new thing now, isn't it? The more people you the more views you get. I mean, it's a bit weird.
I mean, I warned her, if you do that, it'll destroy you mentally, physically, business-wise, and it did destroy her.
Have you ever thought about becoming like the male version? You could be like the male Bonnie Blue.
No, because if I you know, I have things, I'm not going to lie.
So if
I fuck a ting, no one's ever going to know about it because it's between me and her. I don't just go and say, oh, I f***ed that thing. That's disrespectful to her.
Right.
That's like saying she's a whatever. Right. I'm not like that. I'm a gentleman at heart. So if I get off or whatever with a ting, that's between me and her. Right. Work-wise, we can whatever. But yeah, I think with Lilly Phillips, I would like to work with her again, but I think she's hurt and upset by the people around her.
What did you fall out of her over? Was it just
it wasn't because I was in WhatsApp and just talking to her, and we just fell out because I was just trying to get the best for her, and I knew for a fact she was going down the wrong track, and I was trying to steer her in the right direction, and obviously she saw that as controlling, and we fell out over it, and ever since then we never worked together, and all this other shit has happened, and everyone knows about her, and just like me, but for the wrong reasons. And I think because she got involved with Bonnie Blue, I was like, oh, fuck's sake. Obviously, I want to work with Bonnie Blue, but Bonnie Blue has always been known as a sluzzer.
But you're only
that's normal. That's like Ted Bundy always been known as a serial killer. It doesn't really, it's like, who cares? It doesn't really matter. With Lilly, yeah, she's been known as a sluzzer, but not a major sluzzer like Bonnie Blue.
Sluzzer's a great word. I love that.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you, like when I first heard of Bonnie Blue and I saw, I don't know, she slept with 1,000 men or whatever, I did actually think, like when I saw that, I thought, I've got a daughter, right? If my daughter was doing that, I think I'd be in jail. I don't think I'd be able to control myself.
There's no proof she actually did that. Right. There's no proof. So I actually think she did the same. She did 100. She didn't do 1,000 because she was sitting there all fine saying, well, I'm fine. I'm just a bit bruised. I'm like, fuck off. If you fucked 1,000 fucking guys, you'd be in hospital. Fuck off. You would. Right. You would be in ICU if you fucked 1,000 because these things that did world records, they physically couldn't do it. It traumatized them. They got PTSD, and they were in the hospital for a long time. And they said, "Don't fucking do it because it ruined my life forever." So that's bollocks.
So do you think she should be called Bonnie Untrue, not Bonnie Blue?
Well, I think she's a lot of rage bait. Right. But if you put her with me, it'll get views. Right. So I'm happy to work with her.
So you're basically putting your Python and
but her management team are just nobodies, and they're getting in the way of me working with her.
Right.
But I know for a fact she will work with me regardless of her management team, and I think it will do bits. She wanted to work with me before. She was in my DM saying, I want to work with you. I said, calm, let's work. Right. And then I think her management took over her account, so I couldn't talk to her again. But the point is with Bonnie Blue and Lilly Phillips, okay, you're sluzzers, whatever, I don't care. Work with me, let's run it up and have fun. Essentially, imagine a video with me, Bonnie Blue, and Lilly in the same video. That would get like 30, 40 million views.
Wow.
Easy. I mean, that's the perfect mixture because I'm literally on the cusp of like almost breaking the law, but not. Like, it's so risky. It's on the verge of the cliff edge. Right. I'm looking at the abyss and going, yeah, this is just the right distance.
Right.
And then I sort of like lean back. Do you know what I mean?
So that picture of that video, Lilly Phillips is on the left, Bonnie Blue's on the right, you're in the middle. What are you wearing?
Just some boxers, because everyone loves the gut. It's a big gut. They love the gut, yeah. But it's funny because anything I do is just funny. I could just sit with my gut and they could just be doing stuff to me and I'll just be smiling. And that'll get views. Right. I can literally make a fly or an ant get millions of views. I could literally do that. It's just the magic I have. The power I have is fucking funny.
Right. And you mentioned earlier about where you had that thing at school and obviously you beat up the female teacher. Did you get in a lot of trouble for that?
Yeah, but they didn't suspend me or expel me.
Right.
So they obviously knew she was in the wrong to a certain extent. But what I would say is the older I got, the more I learned that violence isn't the answer. If someone's trying to kill you, of course.
Right.
smashed them up. You know, you got to defend your life.
But as you got older, you realise that you shouldn't do that.
9 times out of 10, that'll never ever happen. You know, a lot of people are gonna mouth off to me. I don't care. Say whatever the you want, mate. You're a nobody. I'm still a general, so off. So it doesn't matter what people say. They're still gonna be below you. You know, you've got to rise above that. Right. You know, act your age, because a lot of people these days don't act their age. And one moment of rage can get you put in prison for life, and then you just destroyed your own life, and it's not worth it.
There was also something I heard that somebody tried to take you out with some radioactive material. What was that about?
Well, that's on the last podcast, because I was fighting with the local people, me and my brother.
Well,
we were young. We were like 10.
They weren't Russians, were they?
No, they were just... I'm not going to say what they're involved with, because that would then be disrespecting that side of community, and I don't want to disrespect or annoy a certain community, because I've got a lot of respect for all the different types of communities.
Right.
So I'm not going to mention, but I don't know what they're involved with. But to get your hands on radioactive material and put it on someone's property, you've got to have connections, don't you? Yeah. There's no way you can just get that.
And when did you sort of start glowing like the Ready Brick Man? Did you?
No, I would say I knew it wasn't normal, because I saw it and I was like freaked out. I was like, okay, that's not fucking normal, because you know if there's a red, green, glowing thing, that'll freak you out.
Right. And
then we called the police, the fire brigade, and then they carried it out and whatever. And I think they got arrested. I'm not sure, but I was fine, but it is weird. Like nowadays.
So that really, I mean, so the general could have been taken out at a young age.
Not really, because I always knew what the limits were, and I think, fuck, I always stuck up for my family, even though I disowned most of my family, because if anyone tries to disrespect or disagree with the general, they're gone. I don't give a fuck who they are. The only person that's left is my mum.
Right.
Which is a good thing, let me tell you, because if you fall out of your mum, that's probably the worst possible thing that can happen in your actual life. So long as I've got my mum in my life, I'm doing good right now.
Happy days.
With the rest of the family, I think they need to like have a look in the mirror and like realize who they are and what they are, and just see what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Because I've wanted to do this from an early age, and I've done it. So, you know, I would say to those people, grow up and mature and be happy for me and support me.
Right.
Go against me, you're not going to have access to me. It's that simple, you know. I don't have time to waste on people against me. I've got bigger things to focus on, which is what I do. I dedicate my life to it.
Have you ever had any death threats?
No. I mean, there's been some pretty disturbed people go, I'll do this, I'll do that. And it's like, okay, keyboard warrior, get a life.
Right.
It's just, that's why I don't read comments. You know, there's no point reading comments.
I didn't know, because I know.
And I turned off message requests as well, because some people have mental health issues. That's an issue they need help for. It's got all to do with me. I don't even know them. I've done nothing to that person. You know, you don't want to aggravate them and make it worse so they self-harm. Right. So the best thing to do in that situation is block, ignore, whatever. But most of the time, I don't even see the comment. Right. So it doesn't really bother me or affect me. But if I did, I would just block.
Right. So, and I've got a question for you that nobody's ever asked you. When did you lose your virginity?
Okay. It was a one-night stand.
Right.
Even though I kept saving myself, thinking, I don't want it to be a one-night stand. And it turned out to be a fucking one-night stand. I was like, so that's always the way, isn't it? That's always the way. So I learned from an early age. Right. Well, like 17.
How old do you reckon you was when you popped your cherry?
17, 18.
Right.
I wasn't underage, put it that way.
Right, okay.
Because if you do it underage, then the person doing it with you is committing a crime. You don't want that, do you?
No, of course not.
So I was definitely legal age.
Right. And have you had any run-ins with the police? Because I think you said earlier
the police have questioned me in the past. Obviously, they've never charged me.
Did they ask you? There must have been some There must be some funny conversations when they question
I
you.
mean, what made me laugh was the last time it happened, the police was like, "Oh, General," they come up to me like fans. And I was like, I've been, obviously, I was just talking to them, but I was laughing and going, "This is just hilarious." The trust army are actually the police. So that made me laugh because it's like a reality check. That no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, my fans are always going to be there. And these were young lads because the older ones didn't give a f***. They claimed they went on social media because when they saw who I was, they're like, "Sergeant, he's fucking world famous. What the f-?" And he was like, "Nah." And he's like, "Check now." And he went on the phone and went, he was shocked. The sergeant was like, "What?"
He didn't ask for a selfie, did he?
No. But the young police officers were like onto me going, "Oh, we love you, General. How you doing?" I'm like, "I'm in the back of a police van, mate, with handcuffs on, so I'm not really that great."
But thanks for asking.
Yeah, I know for a fact the police are just doing their job.
Right.
And they have my back. You know, I've always told the truth to police. So regardless of anyone trying to use the police against me, it won't work because they always see the truth and they always seek justice. So they're always going to be on my side.
And what's the funniest thing that the police ask you?
Or they just asked, is your python, is that a term for your cock? And I was like, I just looked at him like, "Are you a fucking retard, mate? Are you spastic?" Because of course it's a term for my fucking cock. It's not a cock though, it's a python because it's that lethal. But the last thing I destroyed with the python, she was screaming and I was worried that people in the hotel next to us in other rooms would call the police saying someone's been murdered because it sounded like a fucking murder.
Someone's been attacked by General G's python.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like she screamed that loud. I was like, "You know, what am I going to do if the police turn up?" I'll just be like, "I just destroyed a tank with my python, bro." Is that a crime? He'd be like, "No, that's a dub, innit? Post that." And I did post it, thankfully, and it obviously went viral. So that's my defense.
And with the python, I mean, I don't know if you've ever got into any sort of technical things about the length and the girth of it, or is it one of the things
python size?
When you get to know,
I've actually porn stars, female porn stars, Lilly Phillips, Lana Wolf, whatever. They've actually said, even though it's not even semi, they've said it's larger than all the guys they've worked with, and it's not even hard. And I've gone, well, wait until they see it's hard, and then they're going to be shocked. So, that's the biggest dub ever.
So I suppose if the TikTok thing ever sort of runs out of the road, you can always go into right.
No, I do have an OF, but I don't have time or patience or energy to put into it. I'm focused on the socials, entertaining the masses. Yeah. But if I release a sex tape, it's going to be with a major global porn star.
Let me tell you something. It didn't do fucking Kim Kardashian any harm.
I mean,
you could be
the problem with her is she's got a lot of fake cosmetic surgery. I like more natural stuff.
Right.
Like Lana Wolf, Lilly Phillips, they are a lot more natural than don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I would completely destroy Kim Kardashian. She's lame. So I wouldn't care.
Imagine that. You know, General G and Kim Kardashian sex tape. I mean, I don't think it'd happen now.
I think that would get me 100 million. I'll be real. That would probably set me for life. But
right. So if Kim's watching this,
I think...
How can Kim get in touch with you, General?
A lot of the global stars have seen me at the top for 2 years in the UK. And I'm branching out now.
Right.
Now, they've taken notice of me and they're starting to talk about me. So my plans would be to travel to America. And then once they know I'm in America, they'll just be coming to collab with me. And
General G's in town. He's got his python in tow.
If I break America, then I think I'm gonna get the money that I need for my personal life. So I'm thinking of doing that long term.
But the Americans love the Brits, and I think because you're such a great character, I reckon if you went over there, I think you could crack.
I think I could. I think Conor McGregor, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Speed. I show Speed. You know, Case said it. I think they would collab with me. I really do. If I was over there, they'd be like, where is he? And then they'd go over there and make a funny video. And definitely, because, what's his name? Fucking guy that was Neo and not Neo. I can't remember the fucking names, but 2 top streamers in America really, really like me. Right. And they want to collab with me. And these guys like are really massive. So yeah, I think if I break America, then I'll be set for life. So I think I've never been to America.
You got to go.
I think that is the move to make. The move to make.
If you did a General G American tour and you went New York, Miami, LA, and Vegas,
I think the only person that I would potentially be like, don't fucking come near me, is Jack Doherty. That's the one person I've seen bad of,
right?
Because the way he like smashes into people, and then that person is like, what the fuck are you doing? And then security comes in between them. That's not right.
Right.
I don't know if that's set up or not, but I don't agree with that type of content.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? For views.
Right. So it's more fun stuff.
Yeah, I think anyone else where it's just like had fun. Because I think with the Paul brothers, they have hit it on the money. You know, they know exactly what they're doing. They can rage bait. They can do what they want, and they'll get views.
Right.
And, you know, that's like the pinnacle of a global star, and I will be there with
100%.
them. That's the target, because, I've dominated a lot of the Europe.
Right. Have you done many podcasts?
I'm starting to do a lot of podcasts now.
So this is the
and it's opening a lot of doors, and
amazing.
I'm like, I'm just walking through each door and going, the bigger door, you know what I mean? And then that's why I'm starting to think about America, because America is going to open a lot of doors for me, a lot of doors. So if you don't ever inspire yourself or give yourself bigger targets, you'll literally just stay where you are. And what's the point in that? Yeah. You want to get to the highest of heights and achieve, something unfathomable. Right. I've already done that, but I want to get like 100 million views. Right. I want to get like 300 million views. I want to get 1 billion views.
Well, you're going to be a trillion viewer.
I want to. I don't think there's any limit.
Right.
I don't have any limit to what I want to achieve.
Right.
And all these other people are like that. They have that hunger. They're at that peak, and they're like, I want more, and I'm exactly like that. I want fucking more. I'm never satisfied, and the biggest stars in the world always have that hunger. If you never have that hunger, just give up. Just go back down to the bottom, because there's no point. Do you know what I mean? Even Conor McGregor, he is doing bits, and he just keeps doing him, and he's smashing it. They all are. So that's what I'm doing. I'm never, ever, ever satisfied with what I've done. Right. Ever. I'm sure you're the same, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I think you just wake up in the morning, you want whatever you get, it's like, what's next?
Yeah, I always want more views. I always want to make more people happy. I always want other countries to...
So there's got to be for you, for the future, General, right? There's got to be a book. A
Netflix series would be hilarious.
Imagine that. Would be good.
A Netflix movie or something. I mean, it has been mentioned to me, and I just laughed. I was like, possibly. I think getting in a film with you and your crew would just be the funniest thing.
Listen, mate, we'll do it. I'll put the wig on.
And then, I don't know, Craig could like shoot me in the back of the head or something. And I'd be like, at least I've gone out like Zebedee.
No, but you could turn around and go, no, nothing hurts the General. You know what I mean? It'd be good. It'd be funny.
No, it'd just be like you said, in space, Fit Soldier in space.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Floating about in an astronaut suit saying, Zebedee, I'm floating, bro. You know what I mean?
That'd be a good film. Foot Soldier in space.
People, I've seen a lot of comments say Foot Soldier in space.
I think that's the one.
You could literally do Foot Soldier infinite amount of time, because there's no limit to how many spin-offs you can do, is there really? Because obviously it's based on fact, but you're like they say on the small print thing,
Right.
you can exaggerate it for fictional entertainment, can't you? So,
but you need the three guys. You need Zebedee, so not Zebedee. You need
Tony
Tony,
Tucker,
Ralphie, and Pat. You need those three
yeah.
in
But,
their spacesuits.
I watched the latest up to date one, and he's now got he's got to kill those three people because that's who's got beef with, isn't it? So the next film is him killing those three guys, isn't it?
Do you know what? I don't know because I'm not involved in the next one. But
you haven't watched the latest one?
No, I was involved in the latest one, but I wasn't in it. That was just
because at the end there was a twist where he saw the three people he had beef with, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill them." And then it ends, and it's like with that music, and I was like, "Yeah." So the next film is potentially him killing the thing, but I do think if you actually go back to real life. I don't think anyone's ever going to figure out what actually fucking happened to them.
No.
Because what with the DNA, did they find any DNA?
There was no DNA. There was no DNA.
So whoever did it did a professional job.
Yeah, it was a proper hit. I mean, the only thing they could do is triangulate Jack Wham's and Mickey Steele's phones to the area. So but back then, obviously, now they can put it to where you're sitting, but back then it was within a mile radius. Do you know what I mean? So at that point of time, they could have been in the area, but they may not have done it.
Were the three guys so powerful and so like wild that they were taken out just because they were pissing off the major mafia of the UK?
Well, if you think about it, right, if you look at all criminals that have become notorious, famous, or pains in the arses, the Krays, the Essex
they've
boys,
all been taken out.
But they've either died in prison,
right,
or they've been murdered. So it's and obviously the Essex boys weren't murdered nicely. Not that there's such a thing, but
do you think if it was the mafia of the UK or the top dogs in the UK, mafia heads, that they did it as an example to say to anyone, if you try the same shit, we'll take you out? I'm not saying it was them, but
I just think, look, they were going around robbing drug dealers, right? So
were they?
If you rob drug dealers,
what are they actually doing that?
Yeah,
that's bad.
I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Mean Beans. I'm very proud to be working alongside them with Dr. Green and Mean Green. Who are Mean Beans? Well, they ain't Heinz beans, that's for sure. They produce magic beans and are highly collectible. So to get your exclusive beans, make sure you click on the link in the description below. And if you use my code PODFATHER, that's PODFATHER, PODFATHER, you'll get a 20% discount. So I come and rob you, but obviously your drugs aren't just your drugs; they're someone else's. So if you do it to the wrong person, it's what happens.
I think so. They were crossing the lines of a lot of territories, and that's why
they were out of control. And that's I think that was demonstrated in the movie.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people look. It's become a cult movie. 17 years, 18 years this year. It's mad.
So how much longer do you think the material is going to go on for? Because
I don't know.
I actually made a viral thing of Craig saying one, two, and I was like saying that was HS, and I was the other guy, General G. Do you know what I mean? And that went so far. That got like 1 million views. So I was like, So
thanks, Craig.
No, it's sick because I do think like people will always watch those films, like the hooligan films, the British films, because if you go to any other country, they cannot do it. They just don't have the medicine or chemistry to do it.
Yeah.
But with that, the chemistry is there. You can literally feel it. It's like, oh, give me another fix. Oh shit, the film's ended. Do another one right now. So I think that's hilarious. And if you go back to the earlier ones, it's got that mystique. Like it's a lot like Football Factory, where it's got that really early days of like, oh, let's just fucking do this and it's done. Like not amateur style, but it looks on the screen like it's, oh, we're just there sitting with you. That's what people feel like. They're sitting on the table with you, experiencing it with you. That's why it went so mad, because everyone felt like they were part of your crew. Right. Which was sick. And that's why each movie, everyone can't wait for the next movie, because they're like, oh, I want to be
Right.
So they feel like they're experiencing it with you, which is really good.
So General G is a Rise of the Foot Soldier fan.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan. I would say I'm part of the crew.
Right.
But what I would say is no one else is doing what you guys are doing.
Right.
Because they've become woke.
Are you part? Do you like the woke stuff?
Never. No, I don't give a fuck what anyone says or tries to do. It's whatever,
Do you have a pronoun that you use?
Half my family are mixed race.
Right.
So, my best friend, my brother, that I've had for the last 15 years, mixed race. Now, he's the only friend I need.
Right.
He's amazing. I'm never gonna reveal his identity because he's important to me.
Yeah.
But he's amazing, and he doesn't care that I'm General G. He was way before General G, and he still cares about me. So it's like you've got people that keep your feet on the ground, that remind you, oh yeah, I'm so. So that's why he's so amazing, and yeah, I enjoy spending time with him, and you don't need to be woke to show, oh, we're equals or whatever.
But you don't have a pronoun. You don't actually ask people to then.
No, I think that's overkill.
And do you identify as General G, or do you identify as something else?
Just General G. Everyone loves me as General G, so I'm General. Right. I don't see myself as anything else. I think you'll be insulting yourself as a person who your family raised you up as if you try and say you're something else.
But lots of people are doing that now, aren't they? They're identifying as all sorts of things.
I would say everyone's entitled to their own view and opinion. Of course they are.
Yeah.
But when you try and force that onto other people, it becomes an issue.
Right.
And then when you try to put it on the media, and then put people in prison because they disagree with your opinion, that's an issue as well. Right. So I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's a free country, obviously, just like America.
Yeah.
Why can't we express our opinions about each other? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, if you met one of these tings, right, and she felt very strongly about it, and she was sort of like, I want you to call me by this pronoun, and I'm identifying as a dog, and
I just wouldn't.
Would you laugh at it, or would you take it seriously?
I just wouldn't work with her again because I'm not there for that. I'm just there to run it up. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't entertain it. That's personal shit. I'm just what
she might have said, because I could imagine she'd be sort of like, look, General, if we're going to be together, you got to identify as a dog too. So.
I'm not there to. If I'm working with someone, I'm not there to be with them in a relationship. I'm there to entertain a lot of people.
Have you ever had a serious relationship though with a woman, or not really? Have you always?
I have, but that's messed up because of my work. Any woman, regardless of who they think they are, they will get jealous of my work because. Well, if you're, it's like you, it's Tony Tucker. Have you snogged a woman in a scene?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Now, regardless of what your wife says, she's not going to be happy about that.
Of course.
Now, it's the same for me. I'm getting off with things, and it's going fucking viral. It's like 500,000, 1 million, whatever. Right. She sees that, she's not happy.
Right.
She's not going to mention it to me, but it's going to add onto the pile of other shit. And then I haven't seen the thing for at least a couple of months now. And it's just got to a point where it's just really difficult for me. You know what I mean? It's painful because the one person you care about is just angry at you. And all I'm trying to do is make millions of people happy. So I don't think people understand what I've actually had to sacrifice. I've had to sacrifice the love of my life for them. And, I don't get any thanks for that, really.
So you go to America.
Yeah.
You crack it, right?
I mean, and you become, best case scenario.
And you become one of these massive people like, another Jake Paul, say, or another Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I think that's quite easy to do if I keep the will and determination and the work ethic up, I can do that. I've just got to link them, and then you've got dynamite gold. But there are so many people in the way of that. There's a lot of people trying to get in the way or trying to whatever. Right. So it's difficult to get past that. But I think it could happen long term. I'm gonna make it happen, regardless of what anyone tries to say or do. I'm gonna make it happen.
But if you get to that point, do you think at that point, General, that you would then say, you know what, I'm there now? It's time to have a proper relationship and actually have some little baby G's.
I can't really, because the one thing I want, she wants something else. So I don't know. Unless someone I work with, I get with, because there is a possibility that someone I work with I could get involved with. That's always the way it is. It's fucked up. I can't actually figure out what to do. But my personal life isn't really a priority to me. Right. It's always the work, and I'm always focused on the work. I think when I do collab with these people, it will be big, because I'm a bit tired and bored of collabing with UK people, because it's almost like I'm limited to the UK.
Right.
I mean, America has got hundreds of millions of people. So if I start collabing with the biggest people in America, that makes more sense to me, rather than 67 million, which is a lot, obviously, but to me, not really compared to hundreds of millions. So, you've always got to reach bigger targets. So what do you think?
I just sort of thought, if you get to the top where you want to be, at that point, that's why I think, would you want to sort of go, right, I've done it now? Or do you not see kids in a family and having
I think
normal relationship?
I wouldn't want kids. I do definitely want kids, because I need to carry on the legacy. If I die, I've got no one to carry on the legacy. If I've got children, like a son or daughter, they can carry on that legacy. Of course they can. If I don't have kids, there's going to be no one to carry on that legacy. Of course I won't.
So loads of people are going to be listening to or watching this show. And I always ask guests that have achieved something great in their lives, what are your tips for success?
I think like 0.5% of people, not even 0.5%, like 0.001%. So the smallest of percentages of people are global, and it takes a lot of trauma. It takes a lot of sacrifice and a lot of 15-hour days for years, non-stop. And then even then you may not make it. But the fact is that you never give up. Now, the people that are the most successful in the world never give up. And that's the mentality you need.
Right.
If you never give up, then you can achieve anything. But you can't be a scumbag and achieve anything.
Right.
So it's literally, it's almost like the X Factor.
Right.
But the X Factor is rigged. This isn't rigged. You've the judges are the public.
Right.
And you don't know when they can test you. But as soon as you get those views, that's an investment from them. And they're saying, right, we're watching you. What are you going to do next? And then you do something else, and they're still getting the views. And it's like, okay, do something else. And it's got to be different. It's got to be more original. It's got to be bigger and better. And like, it's pretty crazy. But I assume that because of my age, it will end up with my death. As in, if I was 20 and TikTok came out then, very different story.
Right,
very different story. But because I'm double the age, I don't think it's like the brightest stars shining the brightest, but go out the quickest.
Right.
So I only think the thing that will stop me is my body.
Right.
I don't think my body can keep up with what I'm actually doing.
Right.
So
do you go at the gym? Do you do any sort of? Right.
I'm struggling to even turn my body from side to side or pick something up from the ground.
Right.
And I don't know what it is. it's a lot of factors, like I saw if you have too much caffeine, it can kill you. And I have a lot of caffeine right now. So it might be the caffeine. It might be the car crash. I don't know. But I'm not going to slow down or stop doing what I'm doing for the sake of my body. I'm going to keep going 1,000,000 miles per hour and keep doing me. So if my body fails at some point, then so be it. I don't really have any priority or importance to my body. That is just with me. If it fails, I don't care. I've got bigger things to worry about. So, and my body I've always been at war with my body.
Right.
I've always been at war. So a couple of times it's almost trying to kill me, but I've overcome it and I'm still alive. So that's my biggest battle and my biggest war is my own body. But I don't like my body. I wish I...
You said the girls all like your tummy, though, didn't they?
Well, the girls obviously want to nourish the python, whatever, get the venom, but I despise my body because it just doesn't...
I love that. The girls want the python with the venom.
I get things. I want to nourish the python and get the venom. And that's the first words they say to me. And I'm like, all right, what's your name?
I suppose you have to find out their names first, right? Because
not really. I actually ask their ages first.
Right. Look at their ID.
I'm not gonna fucking be talking to some youngers. They need to be like 18 or over. Yeah. Any younger than that, they get blocked. So.
Right. I mean, the thing is now as well. There's a massive thing, isn't there, where a lot of these famous people from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. And the 2000s are all getting arrested. People are coming out saying different things.
Well, I would say, obviously, some of it's
30
true.
years from now, General, you're going to be getting it, mate.
No, I'm already, people are trying to still take me out, but it's not working. It's backfiring on them because none of it's true. But some of the people that are accused, not a lot of it is true, but a lot of it is just people trying to set them up to try and take them down because they're jealous of these people being on top.
Right.
Like Cliff Richard was a perfect example of someone that was innocent and the media witch hunted him and he's proven to be innocent.
Right.
And he sued them and he won and he got damages from it. And for people like that, I feel bad for because they should not have been attacked. And the person that accused them should have been prosecuted.
100%.
Because you can't accuse someone of that and get away with it. You can't. You should be jailed.
I think the worst thing in society for me at the moment is watching, it seems to be like you get trolled by social media or media and people, if you read something in the paper, or you see something online, you just go, well, it's true. I mean, I've got friends of mine who've been through it, and they've actually said that people just and what happens is you read something, but then you tell somebody else that story, but then you've changed it. So by the time it gets down to there, you're Jimmy Savile or
I think this trend of using the police as weapons against innocent people needs to fucking end. It's disgusting. It's vile. And the law needs to change. You should not be able to arrest someone with no evidence.
I actually think you should.
It's disgusting.
Until you go to court, if you go to court, right, and then you get found guilty, then they can report.
If there's evidence, arrest them. If there's no evidence and it's just someone mouthing off, don't fucking arrest them because then you're traumatizing the person you're fucking arresting. You are being used as a weapon. And that's what I find disgusting. And they're like, oh, it's not our fault. It's the law. I'm fucking innocent, you fucking prick. What the fuck are you doing? See what I mean? It's a fucking catch-22. So everyone are using the police as weapons.
Right.
Because they're never going to fucking get near these people. So the law needs to change. But with the current government, nothing's going to change. Seriously.
Are you in politics? What are you? Are you conservative?
Are
you liberal?
I would say
reform?
After what Labour have done, I don't think Labour ever can get re-elected. Attacking the vulnerable and the disabled, that is the worst government I think I've ever seen in my 42 years of life. And something big is going to happen, like majorly, and Keir Starmer is going to get ousted from office, as in fired or
Replaced.
voted no confidence, and someone else is going to take over. I think Jeremy Corbyn should, I've seen a lot of his videos recently, and he's talking straight facts, but I don't think he will because he's not part of the Labour Party. But I think someone else should take the reins and just completely reverse everything this Labour government has done, because it is so disgusting. Even the Tories didn't do what the Labour government is doing now. So Labour is worse than the Tories, and that is saying something. Like, we're living through the worst history in our country, and what I would say to people is have hope, because things will change so long as you have a voice and you support each other and you keep voicing your concerns and protest to the current government, because they were elected on promises that they've broken. Now, there should be laws against this saying if you are elected on these promises, you have to keep to those promises legally. If you don't, your government should be ousted and there should be another election. Fact. These politicians have lied. There needs to be some type of repercussions or punishment for those politicians that have lied, because they have lied.
But do you know what somebody told me this recently, and it actually made me think, what is the point of voting for any political party? And basically, when people have a manifesto and they say, this is what I'm going to do.
I think that is literally manipulation to get elected.
No, but what I'm saying is they have their points. They go, we want to do all these things.
Yeah.
And you go, great, I like this. I'm going to vote for you. Right. But then when they get in power, they have to then get the House of Lords to sign off on it. They have to go and get, it's not up to them, right? So they can say, this is what I want to do. But unless everyone says, okay, it doesn't happen. So it doesn't matter who's in the number 10 Downing Street.
With the House of Lords, it's advisory. They're not actually elected politicians, so they can advise
but they
the current government.
They have to get it rubber stamped through the House of Lords.
Yeah, but the House of Lords would never approve attacking the disabled. Yeah, a lot of them are Tory, but even the Tories are against cutting benefits for the disabled. Even the Tories are against it, so it's fucking bad.
I don't think there's anything good about that.
I think Keir Starmer is gonna be ousted very, very soon. I don't think it's going to last that long.
So if he reached out to you and said he wanted to do a collab, would you be up for it or not?
I would rather eat shit and die than be seen with Keir Starmer. Not anything against him, but after what he's done to the sick and disabled,
you're not collabing.
You can't attack the poorest and most vulnerable in society. All you had to do was just stick to your policies, but he hasn't done that. Right. So all the current cabinet and the Prime Minister need to be ousted from office, and then see where the cards may fall. But it is a worrying time, because I hate to see the sick and vulnerable so upset and so, worse off. Literally, people it's affecting their mental health.
Yeah. It's
making them more ill, and that breaks my heart, because my mission in life is not to become a millionaire. I don't give a fuck about money. That's the last thing on my mind. It's to make others happy. Right. So when I see the current government making millions of people happy, heartbroken, more unwell, I wish I could just take all of them, give them all the money in the world, and just solve everything for them.
What about this as an idea? What about if General G run for Prime Minister in the UK?
Well, I would obviously have to up the tax on the rich, because the rich are not getting taxed enough, are they? So
you think so?
No, if they were taxed enough, they wouldn't have to be stealing a couple of scrawny billion off the poor. They're not taxing the rich. If you tax the rich, then you'll easily get enough money to do whatever. And I suppose it's other points, but I'm not going to say on this podcast because cancel culture.
Right. You don't want to get cancelled.
No, it's not. I don't give a fuck about cancel culture, but people can twist shit you say. They always do it on the internet. You know this. they will twist it and make you out to be, oh, you hate this group of people, this race. It's not. It's literally based on if you're giving billions away to another country, wrong. Look after your own first. And if you've got spare money, of course, whatever. But you need to look after your own first, not give billions away to another country first. That is inherently wrong. And that's what this government has been doing. I'm not saying don't give money to other countries. That's whatever. They should have a vote on that. A fucking public vote on should we give foreign aid or not?
The answer
do a vote for the UK. Exactly. Vote on actual policies. And if the public say, let's do it, let's do it. And if we don't do it, don't do it. The fact they don't do that and the government do whatever, that is criminal. That should be illegal.
Honestly, I think you should set up the General G party. I think you should have a go.
I think Reform are doing pretty well because their policies are pretty good, and Nigel Farage has got his head screwed on right. But he is very Tory, isn't he? But it's funny how Labour have acted. That I actually don't think Tories are as bad as I do hate Tories, but I don't like Labour anymore. So I don't really have any affiliation with any political party. Really.
But that's why I think. Do you not think that's a good idea to do the General G political party?
I think we should add the Foot Soldier Party. That's what we should do. Zebedee as financial minister. You as justice minister. Craig Fairbrass as the what's it called? As the vice prime minister or something?
Oh yeah, the deputy prime minister.
Yeah, and then I'll be the prime minister. Yeah. And then is it Frank Harper or something? I don't know. Yeah. And then what about that guy that was that owned the bill? Do you know him?
Oh, Billy Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could be in charge of the benefits because I know he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but I know for a fact he's a nice guy because off camera he's always smiling. Right. So that's a good sign. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Is he a nice guy?
Yeah, no, he's a really good guy.
Yeah,
really
I can tell. Yeah, it's funny. Like,
he's 82 now.
He fucking ain't.
He is, I promise you.
What the?
Oh, it's mad.
Why are all these icons old? I can't believe it. They don't look old, so they must be looking after themselves or something.
Yeah, I think Botox is the answer.
You know what? I think growing old gracefully is the way to go because the moment you get Botox, the moment people can tell, oh, he's got plastic, whatever. Right. Do you know what I mean? Because it doesn't move. But
you never thought about having any.
No, growing old gracefully is the best way to go because the natural wrinkles looks better than the frozen. Right.
Do you have like a beauty regime yourself or not?
No. Most of my life, I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I just drank water and took the recreational drug like weed, ecstasy, speed. They used to call me, get this, they used to call me Speed Freak in Chroma. I was a legend back in Chroma in the day because I sniffed so much speed. I used to buy kilo or half an ounce of speed and snort it. Right. And the dealer that was selling me speed would be ringing my bell going, General, George, whatever. And then eventually we got it. It's like, I've been trying to ring you for days. Like, what's going on? I was be like, I'm waved on speed, isn't it? Like, I've been snorting speed. And ever since then, I've been having a problem with my nose.
So how much speed would you do, like, in a day?
Like 5 grams, 10 grams or something.
Wow.
It was a lot.
So you were doing 5 or 10?
As soon as I started snorting it, I was like, this is good. But I'm glad it wasn't Coke, because if it was Coke, I would be dead. Right. Speed isn't as bad as Coke, but I think a lot of my heart problems, a lot of my nose problems is because I snorted speed for like that year I was in that criminal hostel.
Do you think that so they actually put you in a hostel?
No, I left home. Right. So technically I was homeless. Right. And then I went to a criminal hostel, young people's hostel. And then because the drug dealer, I'm not going to name his name, obviously.
I thought you was going to reveal war on the Criminal Connection podcast.
No. I'm not. Like
snitches get stitches.
He was from Essex, I think. Right. He had an accent.
He didn't have a blonde wig, did he?
He was blonde, yeah.
It's called Tony.
No, but close enough. But he was so funny. He was my best mate at the time. But he would sell me speed. He'd be funny. He actually gave me a scar on my thing because we had to play fight or fight, and he scratched me and it turned into a scar. I was like, how does a scratch turn into a scar? But he was jokes. And
but if any of the girls see it, you go, yeah, that's what I got stabbed.
Yeah. But back then I was like 18, 19, 20, and I experimented with drugs so much because at that age you will do.
What was your drug of choice?
Like invincible, aren't you?
What was your drug of choice? Speed.
Oh, I took so many ecstasies, man. Like I would take ecstasy, like that scene in the club in the Fit Soldier where they're like, they didn't think they felt it, and then they feel it, and they're like, oh, I fucking love you, man. That's what the E's felt like. You didn't take enough of E because they were that strong. You took one E, and when you come up on it, you were like, fucking hell, almost OD on it. So Mitsu's were the best. Mitsubishis. Right. If you've ever had a Mitsubishi, lethal. Don't. Those are fucking hard Mitsubishis. Those are good shit. But the drugs back then were really good, and they were pretty pure. I did enjoy them. Right. I've never been to a rave. I'm surprised I've never been to a rave.
Do you still have
but you're going to change that, aren't you?
Yeah, we're going to change that. Yeah. Do you still indulge now, or have you sort of come out of it?
I mean, obviously I have to get away for work, so alcohol and Red Bull, and then when I'm in Amsterdam, I will. Well, I haven't done for
Is
the last time.
Is that your happy place, Amsterdam?
So I was in the UK and Trust Army soldier. I was like, do you want to split? I'm not going to say no because I'm a general, obviously. So I smoked a bit. I had one deep toke. Absolutely. It felt like I smoked 50 billion spliffs. And I was sat on the bus going home and I was like, just coughing my guts out. I was like, what the did he give me? It feels like the English weed is laced with acid or LSD.
Right.
Because if you go to Amsterdam, it's just weed. They don't lace it with anything. But if you go to other countries, they lace it with something to make it stronger.
Right.
So I don't like English weed or any other weed. Only Amsterdam weed. But even I went into the best coffee shop in Amsterdam. I said, give me your weakest fucking weed. He said, all right. Gave me the weakest weed. I was smoking it a few times and I was for 24 hours. I was like, you said this was the weakest weed. He's like, it was. I was like, it's too strong. So I don't know. Like, I think it's because when you're older, you're more susceptible. You're more sensitive to shit. When you're younger, you could smoke 50 spliffs. It wouldn't matter. But the older you get, I don't know. Like, it gets you more. Do you know what I mean? Is that the way you find it? Like, if you only need a few glasses, then you're like pissed.
Yeah, I like wine. I'm a wine man, so
I swear I saw you drinking champagne the other day on the story.
Champagne, wine, yeah. I like spirits, but I don't like gin. I'm more of a.
You don't like gin? I can drink gin. Like, obviously, as you can tell, I can drink gin
I'm
like
a
water.
Bacardi man.
But anything else will just make me ill. It's weird.
Right.
It's probably because I've been drinking gin for so long that I'm sensitized to it. Do you know what I mean?
But everyone has their tipple, right? So if gin's your tipple, gin and Red Bull. I mean, I will try it just to sort of see what it's all about. But I know you're a big fan of it. So if the general says it's good, then I've got to try it.
Essentially, I don't know why any other spirits will give me a migraine and hungover straight away. I think it's probably because my body isn't used to it and my brain isn't used to it. Right. I didn't even know I liked gin before I started gigging. And when I started gigging, I would have like 8 gins with a lemonade, down that really quickly. And then I'll go on stage and just kill it, smash it. And then that was the most successful tour in UK, one of the best in history, because no one ever did meet and greets. I did every single fucking meet and greet, which is amazing. I was the fastest nationwide tour ever. I got a nationwide tour in 2 weeks. That was the fastest in music history, which is actually a bit mad if you think about it. I was like, that can't be true. It's like, yeah, it is. It took other music artists longer to get a national tour. So everyone was dying to see me. And then when you had people chanting your name before you go on stage.
Did they go General G?
Yeah, I posted about it and it went viral on my TikTok. And it was at that moment I was like, I must be dreaming. Like I was pinching myself going, am I dreaming? No, I'm not. Because it was so much love. And then every time I would go out on stage and perform, I had people screaming at me. And the first gig I had a ting throw her underwear at me. And it was like slap in the face. It was
General
like,
G.
what the yeah,
do you know, there's only one other person who has that. And that's Tom Jones. So you're up there, General G and Tom Jones.
I was shocked because I was like, is this what it comes to? And I think I don't want just my life just to be,
sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, because believe it or not, sex, regardless of how good the ting is, sex can be. You can get too much of it. Like with anything, it's too much. Right. Too much access it's not fun. Like at the moment, I'm getting too much sex, and I'm like, it's putting me off. It's like,
do you know what? I think any men watching this will be feeling your pain.
Not really, but I think in my position, it's like
I bet you're going to be getting.
Like, oh yeah, stick it in, whatever, calm, yeah, brilliant. It's like with anything, regardless of how lame she looks, how big her tits are, how tight her pussy is, it's like boring. Right. It's almost like, I'll get that anyway, but socials and entertaining that many people is more pleasurable to me, gives me more of a high than sex ever will.
People will be writing to you. We'll be getting cards at the office.
I actually get cameos.
They're
a lot of cameos saying,
good.
How do I get things? Give me advice. And this is what I say. I say, get dripped out. Wear the best designer gear, like Louis Vuitton.
So
buy them free drinks. Get them free drinks, all right? Be confident and be funny. And the rest is easy. Like, it's not even that difficult to do.
Right.
So I would say people deep it more than it needs to be deeped. Right. I think things want it as much as the guys, and people forget that. Do you know what I mean? They deep it too much. So yeah, the wingmen need to do a better job.
Right.
And it's a lot on their birthdays.
So that's another tip to get a wingman.
A lot of people have wingmen, and I give them a mission. I'm saying on their birthday, make sure you set them up with a 10-10 langers. Right. And all you've got to do is go up to a ting and say, do you want a drink? My best mate, it's his birthday. He really likes you. And he's just going to get you a free drink. And you don't even have to talk to him.
And that's basically...
just have free drink. And if you want to talk to him.
And that's basically...
And then she will gravitate towards him and say, it's your birthday, happy birthday. And they'll get talking. Right. If they connect, they'll start kissing. And then the rest is history. So it's, it's just about making a ting feel relaxed, happy, making her laugh, getting her waved, and... yeah, having a good time, because it's funny. Whenever I work with a ting, I have a good time. I have the sickest time, and they're shocked because they're like having the best time. They're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna put out on them, whatever." And then a few hours later, they're,
putting out.
And I'm just laughing, going, "Right, so you're on top of me, whatever, and riding the shit at me. You said you wouldn't do this a few hours ago," and I'm just laughing in my head, going, "Obviously, this was gonna happen."
You lied.
No, not lied, but
no,
they
can't. Lied.
They can't resist the charm of the general. So it's just hilarious, really. The more they protest, the more they give out. But
I reckon you should write a book, General G's Guide to Women. I reckon you'd be a bestseller.
I think books aren't needed. I think people tend to mythicize, like put myths on women. Right. There's no myth to women. Women are technically the same as us guys. They're as horny as us. They want what we want. And a lot of beautiful women don't get chatted up. Right. Because men are intimidated. That's the trick.
They're be intimidated.
Oh, she's too fit. She's going to reject me. Hey, no one's talked to her all night. If you go out to her and talk to her, she'll leap on you. Regardless of what you look like. So that's the thing. That's what people don't understand. Like, they're wanting attention. They're wanting someone to go up to them and chat them up because they're that bored and depressed that no one's approaching them. So they feel rejected.
Right.
So someone approaches them, chats them up.
Good to talk, right?
Yeah. And 10-10s are obviously it's my job. Obviously I know how to handle them. But a lot of them don't have much resistance. Well, for me, it's general, but for the normal person, I don't know. But if it's your birthday, you're at least gonna get a birthday kiss. So if you can like work on the birthday kiss into something else, then you're in there.
So even if it's not your birthday, you should pretend it's your birthday.
Potentially, yeah.
Right.
That's the secret weapon. That's the secret weapon. Because if you've got a secret weapon, and things aren't prepared for it.
Right.
But every ting and guy needs to have a good time.
Yeah.
You just got to find the right balance of being waved and being coherable or incoherent. You've got to make sure that you still, because I always find the right balance when I work. Do you know what I mean? Most people don't. They either get too waved and then they're just fucking idiot.
My favourite saying is, "You're not in for a long time. You're in for a good time."
Exactly. So, how did you meet your wife?
I met her randomly. I mean, I've been with her for 27 years. We've got 3 kids. So yeah. So
that's mad.
Yeah. So I was quite happy to go down that path. But
how did you? Where did you meet her though?
Just randomly in we both went to somewhere we never went. We collided. Her friend looked like J-Lo. I mean, if you'd have been my wingman, you'd have probably got J-Lo.
Well, essentially, you just say down that drink, and then I'll talk to you. Because I find that when women drink, they tend to relax a lot more. Like, and the women kiss me. I don't kiss them. Women kiss me. That's the thing. Like they come on to me first. I don't have to do anything. So that's the trick. If the guy ever tries to kiss a woman first, it's over. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, especially now you get arrested.
Because if a woman's onto you first and she's whatever, then you're letting her chase you.
Right.
So that power has to be with the guy. That's what the man has to do. So it's a lot about power dynamics. Do you know what I mean?
So we're in 2025.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the rest of the year?
Obviously, I'm still running it up, but my health is declining.
Right.
But I'm ignoring it, obviously, because I don't have time to waste in the hospital. I will probably work with HS again, even though I don't want to, but I think there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
I will still run it out with the biggest models in the world.
Right.
And then I will eventually go to America and run it up in America as well and work with the biggest stars in America. So that's my plan, and it will happen. Possibly bring HS along as well, because I know when me and him are together, we're literally unmatched in the world. So I think I might do that with him. I think I might just say to him, like, you may hate me, I may hate you. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
The views and entertaining the world is what matters. Let's do it. Let's go to America. Let's run it up in America. Let's work with Speed. Let's work with Tate. You know, let's work with all these people. Look at poor Jake Paul. Let's just have a fucking laugh. And he'll probably say, let's do it. And he's got the money to do that. So he'll probably do it.
Right.
So, and the tings will just see us doing it and we'll get like...
more things.
Well... I'll probably get Katie Price at some point.
Right.
She's been my target for a while. I will get her eventually. Getting Katie Price and me together, that will just do numbers. People will be like, he's got Katie Price. What the fuck?
Right.
Because she is hilarious. I've seen her for years and years. Obviously, I don't appreciate what the tabloids have done to her.
Right.
But I do think with me, she can get the public's love again.
I think if you had some content with you, Herb and Harvey, I think that'd be
epic.
I
bet the thing with Harvey, she protects Harvey so much. She doesn't let anyone collab with him. And I completely agree and appreciate that because that's her son. She loves him unconditionally.
But Harvey Price has become probably more famous than her, hasn't she?
I think the way she looks after Harvey and loves him, takes care of him and promotes him is some of the best thing I've ever seen on the internet. You know, I really love her and respect her for that. And Harvey, you are a living legend.
Yeah.
And if I ever get the honor of meeting you and working with you, then yeah, my trust army will worship you. Trust. I have seen him, and he is so heartwarming. You know, I would be honored. And Katie Price is obviously she likes me and she knows about me, obviously. So there is a potential there to work with her and Harvey. And what I would say is if I ever work with them, I would only have their best interests at heart. I would use my millions of fans to give them good publicity and give them more love, because that's all they want or deserve is more love and more support from the public. So I really hate the fact when tabloids try and bring people down for no good reason. Those type of people are just giving out a positive message, especially Harvey.
I'll tell you what, though, I want to see that collab. Harvey Price, General G, and Katie Price.
Yeah,
that
the amount of memes that would be made out of that with Harvey would just... There wouldn't be anything else. It'd just be Harvey me for like all of the... Because when me and HS first blew up, it was literally... That's all you saw on the global TikTok was like 5... me and HS, and then one or something else. Me and HS, that's how big it was. So I'm gonna get to that level again.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy, but I do want to work with a lot of people, but I do think that in regards to a lot of the lad culture, you know, I'm keeping that alive because no one else is keeping that alive on the socials. Right. And if I was a viewer and I was trying to look for something that was like, oh, he's getting that thing, he's dropping game on that, there's no one else doing that apart from me. Right. So it is a responsibility to entertain them for that niche, you know, and I do enjoy it. And when I get all that love, they're like, keep doing it. I have people on the street begging me to keep doing it. And I'm like, wow, they must really enjoy it then. So, and then they're like, what team you got next? And when they see me with the next team, they're so gassed. They like explode. And it's such a pleasure to keep doing what I do. And the funny thing is the global stars, I know they know about me. They can't not know about me. They know about me. So they will probably work with me. Like there's a few that I will probably work with. Will I do sex tape? Possibly. But it has to be the right person at the right time with the right money.
You've got to just make sure that when you release it, you'll release it on a pay-per-view. Don't release it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm expecting at least 100K because... But I'm going to do it in a classy way. So the Python is obviously a Python. Obviously, no one ever doubts the Python. But I'm not ever going to show the Python because then it like
it's not
loses its
mystique,
mythos.
Mystique.
Mystique, mythos, legendary. But it's thick and it's big. And Jason Love, you ain't got nothing on the Python. Trust. Even Lilly Phillips admitted that. So, yeah, it's good. I just think long term, I need to get onto global stars because at the moment, I'm not being nasty, but I'm working with complete nobodies that have no clout, and I'm just carrying them. Right. And I'm still getting millions of views, but if I work with the global stars together, we're getting like 50 million, 100 million views. That's what I want to be doing, not, you know, like 1 million, 5 million views. Do you know what I mean? See what I mean?
100 mil.
Yeah, I mean, that's my next target. I don't want to entertain the nation. I want to entertain the world.
I like that.
Exactly.
Well, General, I'm really glad you come on and shared your stories with us. I think we've had a great laugh today. It was amazing hearing about your G-isms. And you've got to do that book. You've got to do the book. And I
have to get 10/10s.
I think you should do that. It'd be funny. People will buy that. I'd buy that for all my mates for Christmas.
That'd be fucking hilarious. That'd be so funny.
But, you know, I wish you all the luck in the world, brother. And I hope you conquer the world soon. And just remember when you're at 1 trillion that we discussed it here on the Criminal Connection podcast.
Yeah, well, I'm in the press for a living legend, so I'm not going to doubt living legends and my trust.
Well, no. Thank you, General. Lovely to see you, brother. Thanks for coming, mate.
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Criminal Connection podcast. General G, what a G. He puts the G in the G unit. So make sure you tune in next week. We've got another epic guest. And for many of you, I'll just wait till you blow your nose.
That's gone everywhere.
You all done? You all blown out? I've got an interesting fact for you. 80% of you do not subscribe, but you watch. Now, if you subscribe, you're doing me a massive favour. So do me a favour and press that button, because we will get bigger and epic guests coming your way, because we f***ing love you. So make sure you tune in next week, and we will see you on the other side.